Hello everyone, so in front of me you can see a package, and this is the package for Becca's baby journal with all the clothes in that she's won. So there's your package. So if you, like I said, just inbox me your details, and then all I need to do is put the address on it and I can send it straight away. So yeah, there's your package. So this is going to be the video for tips for reborn mummies and what you should and shouldn't do. So my first tip would be never ever leave your reborns in extreme weather conditions. So never leave your baby in direct sunlight, because you wouldn't want your baby's vinyl to melt, because you don't want it to get too hot. But you also don't want to leave your baby in weather that's too cold, because I'm not sure exactly what would happen, but we don't really want to find out, do we guys? So let's not do it. We don't want to leave them in cold conditions. I'm guessing the vinyl would crack or something because it got too cold, but yeah, we just don't want that to happen, so don't do it. So always leave them in a place that isn't in direct sunlight, because I'm guessing also the paint may also fade. I'm not sure if it would, but I'm guessing if you left them in the sun too much, the paint might fade. So you wouldn't want that to happen, because they're pieces of artwork and their paintwork is just divine on every single one of them. So yeah. My second tip for reborn mummies would be how to clean them. I will demonstrate as I'm going along. So you don't want to use anything like baby wipes on your reborns or anything that's soapy. You don't want to use anything on your reborns apart from lukewarm water, just because you don't know what's in the soap, you don't know if there's anything that could remove paint, and you really don't want to risk it. So I would never ever suggest using a baby wipe or anything like that on your reborn. So the first thing I do to clean my reborns, I'm going to demonstrate on Finley, would be to get a clean makeup brush, one that you haven't used before, and gently brush over the baby's face just to get off any dust where they've been laying. The same goes for their limbs. I'm not going to do this properly, I'm just going to show you. Brush all their limbs down. Of course you'd have them undressed, so you'd brush their arms and their legs and their feet. So yeah, that would be my first step for cleaning them. Make sure the brush is clean. You do not want to get makeup on their face. My second step would be to get some cotton wool that has been put in lukewarm water, but nothing else, okay? So you get this bit of cotton wool. You don't want to rub hard, you just want to gently dab onto their face and clean them like so. And then you need to pat dry with a dry piece of cotton wool. To get into the creases of their face, if there's any dust or anything, you want to get a cotton bud. You don't want to put anything other than water on your cotton bud, and you need to wring it out so that it's not dripping wet. You just want to put that in the creases to get any dust out. In the mouth. Like I said, I'm not doing this properly, but if you want to see a proper cleaning video as part of a routine or something, then I don't mind doing that for you guys at all. So cleaning the ears and everything, obviously between their fingers and all their creases and things like that. So sorry guys, I've got a bit of a cough. So then I'd obviously go over the same areas with a dry cotton bud, just to get all the damp off them. So that would be my cleaning video. Also, when changing their nappies, I wouldn't suggest, some reborns mummies do, I wouldn't suggest using baby wipes, just because you want to keep their cloth body as dry as possible, just because if you get them damp or anything or wet, or I forgot to mention, in the leaving them in extreme weather conditions, if you say to leave them in the rain or took them out in the pushchair, you'd want to use a rain cover, because God forbid if their bodies got wet, they would start to grow mould inside, because sometimes they wouldn't dry through properly and you wouldn't want your baby's body to go mouldy. So I wouldn't suggest even using baby wipes on them, but it's up to you. For making them smell nice, I would put talcum powder maybe in small amounts on their cloth body before putting their nappy on, but I wouldn't suggest using perfumes or anything like that on your reborns. Okay, next. Brushing the hair. Sorry guys, I do apologise for the coughing. When you're brushing a baby's hair, I don't know how I'm going to do this with one hand. And let's say, just sit him up for a bit. There we go. Never, ever, ever tug on your baby's hair when you're brushing it. You want to tease the knots out, so you just want to tease them out so gently. You want to put some mohair spray on it. Let me get the mohair spray. This is the mohair spray that I'm using at the moment. I normally use the Ragdoll Fairy stuff, but I've run out, so I need to order some more. But this works just as well. So what I do is I spray it onto the area like that. This is just a demonstration, guys, so yeah, if you want to see me styling Finley's hair a bit better, then please request below. So yeah, gently. You never want to tug. You don't want your reborn's hair to fall out or anything, so ever so gently. You also don't want to put the brush too close to the baby's head when you're brushing it, because you don't want the paintwork underneath to get scratched or anything like that. So yeah, that's how to brush your baby's hair. When washing your baby's hair or styling your baby's hair, I wouldn't suggest to use real shampoo or real conditioner, just because the baby's hair isn't real and you don't want to ruin the hair. You don't want it to get too coarse and snap or anything like that. I'm not sure what would happen, but I really wouldn't risk it, guys, so I wouldn't use shampoo or conditioner or anything like that on the baby's hair. A brand that I would suggest, where it's got its own brand of shampoo and conditioner and hairstyling stuff, is Ragdoll Fairy. Their stuff is designed for reborns and mohair, and it's really cheap. I normally buy my Ragdoll Fairy stuff from eBay, but yeah, I'd say it's really good, so I'd suggest that for doing your reborn's hair. What else? When you've got, say, an older reborn, a toddler, some people like to pretend to feed their baby food. I personally would not suggest doing this, just because you don't want to get anything really other than water on your baby's vinyl, because you don't want the food on their mouths to remove their paintwork or anything like that. Also, you don't want the food to get stuck into their creases and it be a struggle to get out and things like that. So I really wouldn't suggest feeding your baby food or anything like that. I would say stick to the bottles, the modified bottles where it's been sealed, because you don't want anything to be spilled onto their face. Like fabric conditioner, you would definitely want it to be sealed, because if that was to get onto their paint, you just wouldn't want their paint to chip or fade or come off, anything like that. So I wouldn't suggest not sealing your bottles. I've got a bottle video on how to make them on my channel somewhere, so if you would like to see that, go and check out that video. So yeah, I would suggest feeding them with a modified bottle but nothing else. So yeah, that's just my personal opinion. But if you want to feed them with baby food, go ahead, but I'm just warning you what might happen. Loose clothing. I would suggest to put your baby into loose clothing. Here is Karis in a very loose outfit, which looks absolutely adorable. The reason I suggest loose clothing is because you don't want to put any strain on their limbs, because you don't want them to get damaged. And yeah, I would also suggest to support their head like a newborn baby. Hello, so it appears that my camera can only film for just over 10 minutes, so sorry about that. Like I was saying, you should support your baby's head like a newborn baby because you don't want to put any strain on their neck joint or anything like that. I would also suggest not allowing young children to be left alone with reborns by themselves, because young children tend to think they're play dolls instead of the artwork that they actually are. So if you've got young children, I'd suggest supervising them with the reborns at all times. If you want to take your reborns out, I would suggest dressing them in the appropriate clothes for the weather, just because if people do think they're real, you don't want them to think you're abusing them by not dressing them appropriately for the weather and blah blah blah. So I would suggest putting hats, coats, whatever you need in the winter, and summer hats or whatever for the summer. Always dress them for appropriate weather. Yeah, I think that is all. If you think I've missed anything out, or you want to know anything else, just please don't hesitate to ask and comment below, and I'll be more than happy to answer any questions you have. And yeah, that is my tips for reborn mummies video. Hope you've enjoyed it, Becca, Baby Journal, and everyone else, and I will speak to you guys soon. Bye. Hey guys, sorry, I thought I'd ended the video but I haven't. One more quick thing. If you're ever to take your reborn out in the car, do not, under any circumstances, leave your reborn in the car unattended, because there has been cases in the past where people have broken into cars thinking they've been left alone and they're real. So if you take them out with you. If you're going to get out the car, do not leave them in the car. You don't want your car to be broken into and for people to find out that actually they've broken into your car for a doll. So yeah, that would be my final tip. Thanks for watching. Bye.